Imagine a world where predators and prey follow strict, unforgiving rules, where survival is written in blood across the savanna. Now, picture a lioness, the queen of the hunt, locking eyes with a desperate leopard and choosing not to attack, but to protect. Sounds impossible, right? But in the Serengeti, where wildlife beats with stories that stir the soul, the unthinkable happened. A leopardess, exhausted and out of options, brought her fragile cubs dangerously close to a pride of lions. And what followed wasn't violence, but a gesture that roared like thunder through the heart of nature itself. Have you ever felt an emptiness that only something greater could fill? This moving story of rescue and sacrifice will touch you in ways you didn't expect, reminding us that even in the wild, there are bonds that defy logic. Why would a lioness risk everything for a rival? What is nature trying to show us through this mystery? In the heart of Tanzania, the Serengeti rises like a sacred stage, where beauty and danger dance hand in hand. It stretches for millions of golden hectares, sliced by winding rivers and dotted with acacia trees that seem to brush the sky. Here, the sun sets in flames, and the horizon whispers tales of survival. Zebras gallop through clouds of dust. Elephants march with the wisdom of ages. And somewhere in the distance, a lion's roar trembles in the air. It's a place where the connection between humans and animals becomes a mirror for the soul, reflecting both the purity and the brutality of life. But the Serengeti isn't just beautiful, it's brutal. Each sunrise brings the same battle, for food, for water, for territory. Wildebeest risk their lives crossing crocodile-filled rivers. Hyenas fight vultures for scraps. Predators lurk everywhere and tension hangs like heat in the air. For wild animals, every day is a test of resilience, a survival story written in claws and teeth. The echoes of nature live in every snapped twig, every glance shared between prey and hunter. Now, imagine walking through that vastness, feeling the weight of silence between the sounds of life. Have you ever wondered what nature would say if it could speak? It holds secrets we can barely understand, tales of courage and sacrifice that go far beyond instinct. In the Serengeti, the line between life and death is as thin as the breeze brushing the grass, and every creature carries its own story. What would it be like to witness one of those rare moments when nature reveals something unexpected, something that stops your heart? As the sun dips below the horizon, a leopardess steps out of the shadows, her eyes glowing like embers. She carries something precious, something that's about to change everything. What made her cross the line between instinct and trust? And what is nature about to reveal? Bathed in the golden light of the Serengeti, a leopardess glides through the tall grass, her steps so soft they barely disturb the silence. Her eyes, like lanterns in the dusk, carry the story of a mother. Two cubs trail behind her, wobbly, fragile, still learning the rhythm of the wild. They are her world, her reason, her fight. Every tiny mule, every nudge of their noses is a thread of love woven from instinct and sacrifice. But in the Serengeti, love always means struggle. The wild shows no mercy. Prey is scarce. The drought has turned the grasslands cruel. Antelopes are harder to catch. Other leopards threaten to take her territory, and the distant roar of lions quickens her breath. Still, she guards her cubs with tireless devotion, driven by something deeper than hunger or exhaustion. At night, she hides them beneath thorny bushes, her body curved around them like a living shield. Every rustle in the dark could mean death, every shadow a final moment. And yet, she goes on, hunting, watching, teaching, preparing them to survive in a world that offers no second chances. Have you ever felt the weight of protecting something bigger than yourself? This leopardess doesn't think of herself. She's all instinct, all love, all sacrifice. When she hunts, every move is precise. But danger is always near. One mistake and her cubs are left exposed. Once she faced off a furious baboon to defend them. She is more than a predator. She's a portrait of maternal strength in its rawest, most powerful form. And now she's about to walk into a moment that will shake the laws of nature. Twilight paints the Serengeti in amber. The air crackles with the tension of the wild. A pride of lions moves across the plains, their heavy steps like the beat of war drums. They're built for the hunt, driven by instinct, sharpened by strategy. At the front, a powerful lioness leads them, her eyes locked on the grass ahead. The others follow, muscles coiled, ready for the next chase. In the Serengeti, hunger rules, and their roar is the soundtrack of nature's fiercest stories. But among them, one lioness stands out. There's something different in her gaze. It holds more than primal instinct. There's a softness in her movement, a quiet pause when she surveys the land. Have you ever noticed how even the fiercest can carry secrets in their hearts? She isn't just part of the pride, she carries a story of her own. Her eyes, for a brief moment, reflect something deeper, something almost human. Then it happens. The leopardess appears, exhausted, her cubs stumbling beside her. She freezes, eyes fixed on the approaching lions. The air grows still, like the whole Serengeti is holding its breath. The lions close in, instincts roaring. But the lioness, the one who is different, pauses. Her gaze locks with the leopardess's, and in that instant something unexplainable unfolds. A moment of silence that defies the savage rhythm of the wild. It could end in blood, but something else is taking shape, something sacred. What makes a predator stop in front of her prey? What whispers in a lioness's heart when instinct says attack? The leopardess stands firm, shielding her cubs with nothing but willpower, and the lioness listens to a call that no one else hears. What happens next will change everything. The Serengeti holds its breath. The leopardess stands her ground, her cubs trembling behind her. Her eyes burn with fear and fury. Every muscle is ready to fight. The lion's low growls echo through the air like a storm rolling in. She knows she has almost no chance, but a mother's instinct is stronger than fear, stronger even than death. She's the face of courage, a mother ready to face the impossible. And then something shifts. The lioness, the one with the knowing eyes, steps forward. The rest of the pride hesitates, unsure. She stares straight at the leopardess. No growl, just silence. Have you ever felt a moment when time stops, when the whole universe pauses to choose its next step? She lowers her head, not in threat, but in something that breaks every rule of the savanna. She places herself between the leopardess and her pride, her body a living wall against their hunger. The leopardess doesn't move, shocked. Her cubs peek out wide-eyed. The lioness stays firm. She doesn't attack, she protects. It's a rebellion against survival itself, an act of compassion in a world ruled by teeth and instinct. Why did she do it? What called her to mercy in a place built on violence? As the leopardess slowly leads her cubs to safety, the lioness watches, silent, fierce, and still. And the savanna whispers a truth few are willing to hear. The Serengeti breathes, and every breath carries stories that challenge the heart. Nature here is a living paradox, brutal yet tender, fierce yet fragile. It's a theater of raw survival where claws and fangs write stories of fear, but also of compassion. The lioness who stood between death and mercy wasn't just an exception, she was a mirror, a reflection of something deeper, proof that even in the wildest chaos, something pure still lives. What does this tell us about being human? Is it really that different from what beats in the heart of an animal? The leopardess, risking everything for her cubs. The lioness, defying her pride for compassion. They are two sides of the same story, of devotion, of empathy, of the mysterious bonds that connect us all. In the Serengeti, every day is a battle. But now and then, we witness something greater, a rescue, a moment of kindness, a story that rewrites the rules of life. What can we learn from this delicate dance between strength and tenderness? Nature isn't just claws and roars, it's also a look, a breath, a pause that speaks louder than violence. These stories invite us to look closer, to listen deeper. What if the most beautiful part of life is hidden in the moments we least expect? As the sun sets and paints the sky in crimson, one question remains. What else is nature trying to teach us, if we're willing to listen? The savanna holds secrets that ask us to see beyond the obvious. That lioness, that one choice, reminds us that the wild is not only about struggle, but about connection, about stories that echo in our hearts. What drives you to protect something greater than yourself? Have you ever felt how nature reflects your own choices? If these stories touch your soul, leave a comment below. And if you believe that real connections between humans and wild animals can change lives, subscribe. These stories need to be heard.